If only y'all were here for some of the pre-show B-roll stuff we've got going on.
Yep.
Because
yeah, like Droid nearly spitting out 100 gallons of caffeine when I mentioned the name Mitch Holthus. And Droid doing it to me first, mentioning the name Dan Miller, the voice of the Central Division champion Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Denny Matthews may be next.
Huh?
I knew that would get him.
Let's go.
Because, and why are we doing all of this? Because of everything that happened yesterday. Because yes, Lamar, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen. And yes, there's a story behind both of those graphics.
Oh,
if y'all weren't here for
let's
yesterday,
go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
there was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah! Good morning. Welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us as we are slowly trying to wake up.
And it's nothing but chaos this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bull.
I cut the short yesterday from Friday.
Yeah, I saw that.
What I need you to do, sir, is get me Lennon's specific interviews so we can post it.
What?
The interview with Lennon yesterday. Lennon Barnes, photographer, Mizzou.
What?
What?
He's going.
I'm done.
What?
I'm done.
Will you get back here?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is.
I know what you're talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's already turned into tumble anarchy around here.
Yes, especially with the graphics we premiered yesterday.
Dog hasn't quit yet, though.
I'll see to that.
But there was
which is our question of the day, and we'll get to that toward the bottom of the hour. Of course, Allison Mic Drop Moran will join us during hour 2, and Droid's got a blank eating grin on his face already, as do I, because we don't know what she's going to say.
No,
but it always turns into YouTube-worthy content.
There's a lot of stuff that I need to move featuring Miss Moran. Good Lord in heaven. I'm just afraid to see what she'll come up with next. There was a football game last night.
There was?
Who cares?
That game would have probably been the total anarchy game for us this last week.
It was a
total anarchy
yeah,
game.
Snowman made that a total anarchy game.
Yeah. By God, it's Austin's music. By God, it's Austin. He's walking. He's talking. He's about to whoop somebody's ass. And we've got our first short for the day.
Yes. How do I put this?
Pittsburgh won. Who cares?
Well, even better. My wife called me. And she said, "Are you watching Monday Night Football?" And I said, "No." Her next response was YouTube worthy. Hi, Pumpkin. When she said, "Good. You don't need to watch that bleep."
Yeah.
I mean, that was literally...
That was my wife's word for word response.
As always, Dr. K was right.
I mean, it was nothing more than a big old pile of toilet bowl soup.
It was.
Don't disperse the toilet bowl like that.
We had it on lobby while I was at work.
Why?
Nothing else that
for?
It was a bowl of what, Droid?
It was a bowl of MID.
Mid.
It was lower than mid.
Because the Giants lost to a team that can't decide on a quarterback, which means pseudo Steeler fans are coming out the woodwork.
Yes, they are.
Are we surprised?
And it started with me at 5:30 this morning.
Uh-oh.
With the first alert reading, and I quote, "Justin Fields is 6-2. What about it?" To the person who wrote that frivolity, do me a favor, will you please? Just do me one little bitty favor. Shut up. Because you're still a fan of Caleb Williams, for God's sakes. Before I go any further, this hour is brought to you by BetUS.com, where the game begins. Bye, Pumpkin.
My question is, how can you say Justin Fields is 6-2 when Russell Wilson started the last 2 games?
Come on, you know what the narrative is. I hope the Pittsburgh Steelers lose every single game from here on out. And I shouldn't say that aloud, but I'm saying it aloud anyway. Why? For the same reason I'm saying I hope the Bears lose every game from here on out.
To shut everybody else up?
Mm-hmm.
This man wants anarchy, damn it.
The fandom with the Bears, the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy.
The Pittsburgh Pinheads?
Yeah, that's a safe way to put it. Because if I put it any other way, I would have to use my soundboard. And I promised my children I wouldn't use the soundboard today.
Well, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, Snowman. That's not going to happen
I know that. You know that.
because I see some projected wins in the favor of the Steelers coming down the pike.
Yeah, there's a few of them, and two of
I
them are
know.
for Cleveland.
Okay. You know what?
I've already got the schedule up.
Did Cleveland play Pittsburgh already?
No, they've
Oh.
Cleveland's got
And they
them
faced them
in
twice, right?
They
Yes.
faced them twice in 3 weeks. Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone
Both of
Cold!
them. Both of them. Both of them.
Not to mention they have a match with the Bengals. They still have 2 matches with the Ravens. And remember what I said about the Ravens yesterday and put it in.
You need to do a part 2 to that this morning.
I do.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And I will tell you why.
Why?
1, it's funny.
Yeah.
True.
2, I love when you go off because it comes out of left field. And 3, most importantly, you, my friend, didn't get your goal for Derrick Henry.
Mm.
No.
Which was what?
Tree fitty.
I don't need to get like this monster no tree fitty. I'll give him $1.05.
I want my tree fitty.
Shut up, Shane. But I distinctly remember Victor Locke, and I'm totally not with it this morning. I distinctly remember Victor Locke, aka saying he wanted how many for Derrick Henry?
Tree fitty.
Mm-hmm. Instead, the Ravens played like booty, and the Cleveland Browns said, "You fool!"
And Derrick Henry didn't even get $1.05.
He didn't get $1.
He didn't get more than 11 touches. When was the last time you've heard a premier running back like Derrick Henry having less than 20 carries?
DeAndre Swift. That answer your question?
There you go.
DeAndre Swift. And DeAndre Swift is supposed to be a premier running back.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy, since we're wrapping up week 8. And we got a lot to wrap up about with week 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we
especially later on, and I mean this playfully. Me and Droid are going to have a fight.
Oh no.
No, we're not. We're not.
We're not.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not.
We're actually not. I'm just kidding around with him. But you know what? Screw it.
Oh boy.
Just plain screw it.
Here we go. Snowman.
The tacos are crunchy today.
How do I start this? First, I start by saying, give me this camera. Second, shucks, that part I haven't mastered yet, because there's a button I want to push, need to push, can't push, because y'all won't hear me go completely off on the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy. But I'll start this way.
Okay.
Caleb Williams, you suck.
Given.
DeAndre Swift, I'd get out of there if I were you. I'd act like Lewis Black, and Victor knows who Lewis Black is.
Mm-hmm.
I'd act like Lewis Black and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Because you're being misused.
Well, here's the problem. I can't put that onus on Caleb because Caleb did all that he can do against Washington. We didn't even expect Washington. We didn't expect that game to be as close as it was.
How
You know
is
what? You're
how
right.
is- wait a
You're
minute.
right.
How
You're
is
right.
how is
Victor's
10
right.
of 20? How is
Victor's
10
right.
of 24 for $131 all he can do?
I'll tell you why. One, you're facing a much improved, better Washington
Exactly.
Redskins defense.
Exactly.
Secondly, you're facing a team like Kansas City, like San Francisco, like a couple of others that actually have something that works. A pass rush.
Exactly.
Dakota Prescott, you're next.
Oh, and by the way, DeAndre Swift went off 18 carries, $129, and 1 touch.
Good.
Including a 56.
That'll be the last 100-yard game he gets. And
also,
this brings me to Matt Eberfools.
Exactly.
Or let me say this correct. Let me say this correctly. Matt Uberfools.
Because I asked this, what is Caleb supposed to do behind Eberfools?
Hope to God his offensive line doesn't
Listen.
turn into mannequins.
Matt Uberfools.
He evolved to
Matt Uberfools is the stupidest coach I've ever seen in my life.
He really is.
Because, first of all, I put this at the top with the management of the Chicago Bears.
McCaskey.
Virginia McCaskey, I'm talking directly to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have sucked as an owner since 1985.
Well, she doesn't care. That's the thing.
No. Virginia McCaskey and Gerald are the same person.
Yeah. And you can throw.
They don't care about the product on the field.
Old, decrepit, and drunk.
You can throw Kraft in there too.
You're not wrong. You're truly not wrong.
I got some things to say about Robert Kraft.
Well, Dog's about to put someone on the hot seat, and I want to see.
Oh, we will definitely do that. But let me get this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me speak to a friend of mine by the name of Andre Morgan.
Okay.
Andre, I love you dearly. I love the fact that you got out of Chicago when you did. But for you to still be a Bear fan after all the anarchy that this management team has put you through, no thank you. For you to still be a Bear fan, and I'm begging Andre to come to his senses. Will he? Probably not, because he's a Chicagoan like me, born and bred. And I get it. When are you Bear fans, the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy, of which Andre is not a part of, going to realize that your team will forever be handcuffed as long as the last name McCaskey is in charge of the Bears?
Yep.
When are you going to realize that your team will forever be handcuffed as long as the name Eberflus, aka Uberfools, is the head coach? I don't even want to know who the offensive coordinator is. He came from Seattle in Russell Wilson's last days in Seattle, and everyone saw how that offense petered out before our eyes in Phoenix, Arizona. Ever since then, it's gone down the freaking tubes. And now he's taking Caleb Williams with him.
Yep.
Which brings me to anyone that can run this team better. Which brings me to David Kaplan. Why am I bringing David Kaplan in this? One, he's a friend of mine. Two, well, he's a friend of ours. Two, he said something a while back that has not happened yet. Get some football people in there. Fix this blank thing. It's ridiculous. And for DeAndre Swift to finally have a breakout game. 18 carries, I think I remember that right, for 129 yards.
Yep.
Where was this in week 1? 2, 3, 4. Where was this? When y'all had the Colts game in the palm of your hand, but you wouldn't give the ball to DeAndre Swift. Instead, you trusted Caleb Williams, of all people. You trusted Caleb Williams to get you downfield when your running attack midway through the third quarter was working.
That's the problem. It was working. The issue that we have seen with the Ravens, the Bears. I can't say the Cowboys because I can't say the Cowboys because the Cowboys don't have a running game to begin with.
But you got to put them on the list for all the harping they did at the top of the season.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Can't say the Eagles are still on that list because I still can't trust Sirianni to stick with the run.
Nor can I. I don't want to look.
I want to trust the Eagles, but I can't because again,
I can't trust the Eagles.
I
can't trust the Bears. I can't trust the Bears to actually lean on something that worked while Mike Ditka was the coach. And what is that, you ask? Running the ball.
I mean, it worked with Lovie Smith.
Yes, it did work with Lovie Smith.
When you had Thomas Jones and Cedric Benson and Matt freaking Forte.
Which Victor and I watched with chicken in our belly.
Mm-hmm.
In a game against you know what? Matt Forte is the last Bears running back, and I want people to help me with this. I believe Matt Forte is the last Bears running back to eclipse 200 rushing yards in a game. He did it against Carolina.
He might have.
I think Matt Forte is the last.
Well, did Montgomery ever do it?
Did what?
Did Montgomery ever do it? Because I don't know.
I don't think Montgomery ever did. I do remember Forte getting 200.
Yeah,
it was against the Panthers in 2011. He went for 205.
Is that the last time a Bears running back eclipsed 200?
Yes, it is.
I thought so.
And
so what does that say?
Before that, Sweetness himself did it twice.
Yep. And one of those games he had 275, which set a record at the time.
Yep.
So what does that tell you about the Bears and their distrust of the running game? Because they tried to make Jim McMahon a thing. They tried to make Steve Fuller a thing. They tried to make Jim Harbaugh a thing. And now they're trying to make Caleb Williams a thing. Jeez Louise, do y'all get it?
They just prefer to run hot tickets instead of actually going with what works.
Instead of running the ball.
Instead of running the football. And like I said, had the Bears run the football at least 4 more times in the second quarter, you're talking about possibly Swift breaking another one for a big gain or a touchdown.
Exactly.
But no, they tried to lean on Caleb Williams, who barely even showed up.
Like I said, Caleb Williams was able to extend plays with his feet. When I watched the game, he extended plays with his feet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that indecision in holding on the ball too long, which I was impressed to see. But again, this is like this to me. That game was more of an indictment of Eberfools and the plays he called.
Mm-hmm. There's a good friend of mine by the name of John Zaglol,
mm-hmm.
the man in charge of Sports Talk Chicago. I've had him on the show many, many a time. And John, I hope you're getting healthier because I can't wait to see you return back to the microphone, my friend. John has been ill for a while.
Yeah.
So, John, get back and keep spreading the truth about the Bears. Because John is the only, besides David Kaplan, besides Lawrence Holmes, and besides a couple of others that say the truth about the Bears.
Yep.
You know, and I'm the one that gets called a hater for saying the truth about the Bears. And the truth is, and part of the truth is this. And people don't want to hear it. People don't want me to say it. I'm going to say it aloud and continue to say it aloud. I want to rewind the archives back to 2011, January 2011, as a matter of fact, Why am I rewinding it back to that time? Because the Bears hosted the NFC Championship game against, of all teams, a team they should have knocked cold in the last week of the season. The team that is much hated around those parts, the Green Bay Packers. Now, why am I going that far back in the Wayback Machine? Because you had a bruised and beat up Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it again. You had a bruised and beat up Aaron Rodgers in your house. And in 7 plays, he knocked y'all back into yesteryear. And nothing has been the same since.
For the Bears. Yep.
Nothing has been the same since for the Bears. And it continues right on through letting Lovie Smith go, which was stupid. Bringing in Matt Eberflus, which is more stupid. And through the era we know as John Fox.
Oh.
And each one of those eras, including Lovie Smith, was handcuffed by the folks upstairs. They were handcuffed. And it continues to be true this day.
Yep.
It continues to be true. You would think, and Nightfall Drop, thank you for this point. I will bring this up right now. You would think the Bears are a team that consistently runs the ball due to the fact that the majority of the time the weather is cold. Anyone who has been in Soldier Field, old configuration or new configuration, when it's cold, you do something we like to call run the football.
You run the football because you lessen the risk of continuous fumbles, with all those hits.
I'll bring up a stat again. Matt Forte is the last Bears running back to eclipse 200 yards
The Bears
in a game.
The Bears running has not been good since unfortunately we got rid of Olin Kreutz.
The Hawaiian heartthrob. Meanwhile, a team like my 49ers, within that time, 2011 to now, has produced 4 that have rushed for 200 yards in a game. And one of those 4 occurred in the NFC Championship against same Packers team, led by same Aaron Rodgers, who got terrorized. Does the name Raheem Mostert mean anything to y'all? So until the Bears go back to their old philosophy, and even Mike Ditka was handcuffed for a long time. After 1985, they put Mike Ditka's hands behind his back and handcuffed.
And yeah, I think
until the Bears get back to that, until the Bears actually draft some offensive linemen that want to run the football, that want to run block, that want to do this thing called protect your quarterback and run the football. Because what's the best protection for a quarterback like Caleb Williams, like Brock Purdy, like Patrick Mahomes? You equip them with a running game. And the Bears have not had a consistent running game since Walter Payton retired.
Well, when you have
1987.
Well, when you have a mobile quarterback, attaching a run game to it does so much wonders. Pay attention, Lamar Jackson. Pay attention, Dak Prescott, because you two are mobile quarterbacks, but your running game is ASS.
Mid. You want to know what the bad
there
thing
were quite
is?
a few reasons, and to accompany Mike Falldrop's comment, there were many a reason why the Bears were called the Monsters of the Midway. Offensively, they want to hurt you. Defensively, they want to hurt you. Overall philosophy, they wanted to bring a lot of harm.
Well,
And I have not seen the look in their eyes. I have not, let me change my sentence. I have not seen that look in their eyes since 1985.
Well, offensively, they wanted to hurt you. Defensively, they wanted to put you in the ground.
They wanted to kill you.
Oh, by the way, Chicago fans, just so you know, even New England has produced a 200-yard rusher faster than you have. And we did it in 2014. Jonas Gray.
Jonas Gray. Yep. In fact, I'm inclined to say every team in the NFL since 2011 has produced at least one 200-yard rusher.
Yeah.
Lord knows the Chiefs have. Lord knows the 49ers have.
Jamal Charles.
Thank you, Droid. Jamal Charles.
I might be reading this wrong, but I'm pretty sure Zeke has hit at least 200 since 2011.
I'm inclined to think so also. In fact, Nightfall drop again. The Bears need to get back to the old West Coast offense. And a shout to the godfather of said West Coast offense, the late, great Bill Walsh. It favored the run while executing short, high percentage passes. Let me say that again. Short, high percentage passes.
Usually they were quick outs. Usually those were quick outs.
And by the way, Vic, to correct you, Zeke never touched 200.
I was reading it wrong. I said I might be.
The last time a Cowboys running back had 200 in a game was on Halloween '93.
Emmett.
Yep, against Philadelphia.
Against Philadelphia.
I figure it's
Listen,
be true.
Listen. Teams that do the old school West Coast offense, like the team that invented it in the 49ers, the pieces were in place in 1980 when they let Joe Montana take over the offense for an aging Steve DeBerg.
Mm-hmm.
It's a run game. Not pass all the time. Pay attention, Dakota Rain Prescott. Pay attention, Lamar Jackson. Pay attention, Caleb Williams. You leaned on a running game.
Jalen Hurts.
And I still don't trust Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, JJ. I love you, but I don't trust Jalen Hurts. Sirianni's going to do something stupid to get him hurt, or he's going to do something stupid to handcuff that offense. That's a discussion for another time. But until the Bears decide to get back, how did John Gruden put it on a Bears 49ers game in 2012? Until the Bears decide to get back to a sinister run game where they want to put you in the dirt, they will always be as soft as my daughter's pillow. And Donna, baby, that's for you. That's Snowman's take. What is yours? That felt better. And hopefully this will get the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy to show up. And as I say that, Michael's telling me this.
Stop it. Get some help.
Well, we got more people to burn on this episode.
Now I'm going to burn a group of people, and I'm going to make Victor laugh his head off.
Oh, no.
At the same time. Because I'm not going to burn Victor. Victor does not count in my next hot seat when we come back.
Okay.
Why?
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
I will break down every single point of why the Cowboys season is finished. And Victor's going to agree with me. Why? Because Victor actually watches the games. Chris Dietz actually watches the games. Ben Sudderth the third actually watches the games. Ivan Dawkins, King Dawk himself, actually watches the games. But to the moronic republic of Cowboy Nation, you're next. in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony, or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Whether it's the men's college game,
the way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
The women's college game,
and how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
The WNBA,
AJ Wilson on Twitter 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young,
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Yes, it's true that the 49ers have had their struggles in the red zone. But yes, it's also true that Sunday was their get-right game before the bye. And yes, it's also true that the Moronic Republic of Cowboy Nation keeps singing... Which leads to this. Again, thank you to the EP of all EPs, our executive producer, Mr. Cole Johnson, for directing me to some weapons. Let's go.
And just so y'all know, this ain't me.
No.
Let me explain this.
Go.
Because every time I bring up these criticisms, I'm always being called a hater. I'm not a true Cowboys fan because I don't ride with the team. Now y'all about to hear it from someone who really don't like the Cowboys. Y'all gonna hear from Snowman.
Okay. Gather round the campfire.
I got the hot dogs and marshmallows.
You just bring the propane.
Oh, it's already hooked up.
Okay. Bring more.
Hang on a second. I'll send a text.
Okay. Now, I'm going to include a few teams in this. A few. Cowboys, Steelers, Yankees, Lakers, a couple of others. Why am I including all these people on this particular hot seat? Because I'm sick and tired of the hype with no proof behind it. The Cowboys suck. Okay? Let me say it again. The Cowboys suck, and they have sucked since 1993. Why am I bringing up 1993? Because that was their last true championship. I don't count the one where they had got in Super Bowl 30 when Barry Switzer, who dropped to his knees in front of Gerald, got Jimmy Johnson fired and basically took over a team that Jimmy Johnson put together, which led to a 35-year feud.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought that putting Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor after they put him in the Hall of Fame would solve the problem? No. You know what you needed to do, Gerald? Stay out of the way. Because the Cowboys were on their way to truly being the team of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
They were truly on their way to being a team of the 90s. And this is coming from a long-time 49er fan. I've been a 49er since 1981. But I respect the Cowboys of Tom Landry, and I respect the hell out of the Cowboys of Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson knew what needed to be done. He did it at Miami. Tom Landry knew what needed to be done. He was coming to the end of his time, and he knew it. But when that snake oil salesman named Gerald Jones bought the team, he knew that he was getting rid of Landry. Now, it turned out to be a good move because Landry wound up riding off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Nightfall, just like John Gruden following Tony Dungy. Dungy got screwed out of a Super Bowl, but it was made up to him in 2006. That's a later conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put the 1995 Super Bowl, which would be Super Bowl 30, if I remember correctly, in the pantheon of championships for the Cowboys because Barry Switzer dropped to his knees, as I said, in front of Gerald, and then Gerald acted. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me explain why I don't put that championship along with the others. Well, shoot, I just explained it.
Yep.
Barry Switzer was riding the coattails of Jimmy Johnson, which should tell you how bad of an NFL coach Barry Switzer was.
Mm-hmm.
He should have stayed at Oklahoma, and Gerald needs to stay his ass out of football affairs, but he can't help himself.
You can't, because he knew that he was not going to get the credit for the Jimmy Johnson era.
Mm-hmm.
Quite frankly, Gerald needs to take a trip to Chicago and Foxborough, grab a couple of pinheads, and go down to Florida, and they all need a back massage.
I'll tell you the one game, and I think Nightfall will agree with me, Arku will agree with me, and every rational Cowboy fan will agree with me when I tell you the one game that ruined the Cowboys dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
The date was January 15th, 1995. The scene of the crime, Candlestick Park, San Francisco, California.
Mm-hmm.
Occasion, NFC Championship. third consecutive NFC championship between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. All the Cowboys had to do was go back to their old ways, march into San Francisco, and beat them. That's all. But you know what happened? 3 times the Cowboys coughed up the football in the first quarter. And 3 times the Niners took advantage and turned them into touchdowns. And the play that started the avalanche of misery for the Cowboys that started on January 15th, 1995 and continues to this day was the 44-yard interception return by Eric Davis. He was looking for Jay Novacek out in the flat, and Eric Davis flattened him.
Mm-hmm.
That started it. And it continues to this day through every quarterback, save Troy Aikman, that the Cowboys have had. I mean, hell, once upon a time, Quincy Carter was called upon to be the Cowboys quarterback.
Hell, once upon a time, Drew Bledsoe was called to be a Cowboys quarterback. Come on here.
I'll give you another significant. Hi, Punkin. I'll give you another significant day in the downfall of the Cowboys empire, downfall of the Cowboys dynasty. I'm going to go back to 2000. Sunday Night Football, featuring the New York Football Giants. All the Cowboys had to do was hold serve at home. You hold serve at home in Texas Stadium, you prevent the Giants from winning the division, you prevent the Giants from having home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which they would get the following week. And you have a little bit of respect. Instead, the Cowboys choked. I'm not even going to be nice and say surrendered. The Cowboys choked a 13-0 lead and lost the game 17-13. That was during the rise of Tiki Barber and company.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many a member of the Moronic Republic, I have to be specific here, will call me a hater because of all this I'm saying about the Cowboys, saying you don't know your history. Oh, no? I can tell you that those games were featured in the downfall of the Cowboy dynasty. I can tell you that many others beyond that, including not one, but 2 trips to Carolina. 2 trips to Carolina. And all y'all did in those 2 trips to Carolina, one, you didn't even score 20 points in either game. And secondly, you walked back to Dallas with a great big fat ass. Bonus game. Nightfall, I'll answer your question. What year was that Jake Plummer and the Cowboys dropped the Cowboys from the playoffs? The year was 1998. Jake Plummer and the St. Louis/Arizona Cardinals went into Dallas and socked them in the mouth. All I'm doing is presenting the facts. Lord knows I have many an opinion. Okay? But when you look at the straight up facts, the Cowboys have not been the Cowboys since 1993, and they nearly choked that year away. Thanksgiving Day 1993, anyone? Huh? Oh, y'all don't remember 1990? Y'all don't remember Thanksgiving 1993? Well, let me throw a name at you. Does the name Leon Lett mean anything to y'all? That started it. That truly started it. And as you heard Shane say in the last segment, and while I'm roasting the Cowboys here, the Cowboys have now had a 200-yard rusher since Halloween 1993. His name, Emmitt Smith.
And they've had plenty of opportunities for that to happen.
You had Marion Barber, for God's sakes. Okay, you've had many a running back go through that facility. You had DeMarco Murray, who led the league in rushing once upon a time. Okay, I can point out all the games that I can, and everyone led to the downfall. But the one act that Gerald will never, ever, ever be forgiven by true Cowboy fans was firing Jimmy Johnson. Oh, y'all didn't hear me. I'll say it again. The one mistake that Gerald did, and his team has not been the same since, he fired Jimmy Johnson, which leads to Gerald today. Since that day in 1993, the Cowboys have never been the same. You bring in Barry Switzer to coach an all-star team, and he did a horrible job at that. They lucked into Super Bowl 30. They lucked into it. Why? Because the Green Bay Packers took out San Francisco at Candlestick Park. Frisco was the number 2 seed. And I guarantee you, had the Cowboys seen San Francisco that day in January of 1996, we wouldn't be talking about the Cowboys being 5-time champs. Because about that time, before Brett Favre and company showed up and forced Steve Young to throw the ball 65 times, the Niners were getting their act together. And it seems like they meaning the 49ers, always seem to get their act together when it counts. And I especially bring the rivalry, which ain't been much of one, with the Cowboys to light with what happened Sunday night at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. For you see, Moronic Republic of Cowboy Nation, the Niners had more injuries than the Cowboys. The Cowboys were healthy in all of the key positions, or so we thought. But then they led 10-6 at the half. What's a mistake that the Cowboys made on Sunday night? They let San Francisco get a field goal before half. And the Niners received the ball to start the second half. Why are you yelling at me, Pumpkin? Come here. I think Pumpkin wants a part of this too. They let San Francisco get a field goal before the half, and the third quarter, to start the third quarter, a 43-yard completion to George the Animal Kittle. That started the avalanche. Oh, and it's so bad. It's so bad that the Cowboys signed a retread Ezekiel Elliott, and he did nothing. Meanwhile, the Niners are leading on their third running back in their system, a rookie by the name of Isaac Guerrero, who ran a 4.3 at Louisville. I hope I got that right, honey. And he burned him. 14 carries for 85 yards. And a stat that Dog brought up yesterday. The Cowboys, as a committee, rushed for 56 yards. Now, how many rushing yards Brock Purdy had Sunday night? 56 by himself. And to borrow from my homie, the playmaker, Brock Purdy by himself beat the Cowboys. That's for you, playmaker, and I hope you're well. So the Cowboys in many ways are like the Bears. They can't draft for need. They draft more for want than need. They can't fix the problems they have on their offensive line. They don't want to fix the problems on their offensive line, and they want to lean on a quarterback who is below mediocre. Yeah, I said it. They want to lean on a quarterback who's below mediocre. And Dakota Rain Prescott, you are below mediocre. Your last best year was at Mississippi State. Oh, and Arku says they needed to draft a running back in the draft. You had Deuce Vaughn. You don't use him.
Deuce has a V8 and they just don't know how to use it.
You want to go out, Pumpkin?
Quite simply stating, the Cowboys, them boys be cooked.
And have been cooked since January 15th, 1995.
Here's the thing. The culture needs to change in Dallas.
It never will with Jarrell at the head of the helm.
Say that again, Victor.
The culture needs to change in Dallas. You want to know how to fix everything, Dallas? Change the culture. Stop resting in your laurels. It's not 1995 anymore.
Say that for those in the cheap seats of the old Texas Stadium.
You beat me
which
to
is currently sitting as a equipment yard in Irving, Texas.
It is not 1995 anymore. We are 3 months away. Well, 2 months away from it being 2025.
Yes.
Say that a little bit louder for the people in the nosebleeds of Arrowhead Stadium.
It is
an old candlestick pop.
Oh, you beat me to it. Thank you, dog. Thank you.
I'll go as far as the old Comiskey Park. Let's get on that.
A place that has my heart.
It is not 1995 anymore. We are 2 months away from 2025, and we are still holding on to the same idiotic, moronic principles that have basically hampered us from getting a championship since 1995.
And I don't even count the 1995 championship because that should have been Jimmy Johnson's third.
And what kills me, and you're right, the thing is that this is all on Jarrell.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Bears rules are all on Virginia. Because we could talk about Eberflus and Pennywise and Caleb Williams and Dak Prescott all we want.
Yep.
What do either of those quarterbacks have to work with? Granted, Caleb Williams got DeAndre Swift, but with Eberflus in the way, we don't know how that's going to play out. But that's just at the top. The thing is that both Virginia, Jarrell, and Kraft, because you ain't getting out of this one either. Kraft.
I was about to say you might want to.
And you throw Jeannie Buss in the conversation. And you throw Jeannie Buss in the conversation. And you throw Brian Cashman in the conversation.
I was about to say you may want to take a trip to Old Sullivan Stadium here in New England.
Oh, that gives me an idea. Finish, Victor.
You take all those individuals, all they want are yes men. They only want yes men who don't want to take the credit for actually putting a competent team together.
Like Jimmy Johnson did, like Bill Walsh did, like Mike Dicker did.
Exactly. Because in the end, they needed to be about them. And until that culture changes, nothing changes.
Would you say that again, please? I need to hear you say that. I must hear you say that again.
Until that culture changes, until you stop hiring these yes men and asking people who know the game of football, X's and O's.
and not X's and O. Bleep.
Until you change that culture, nothing is changing.
You know, I just want. I tried my best to understand. I did. I tried my best to understand why they got rid of Jimmy Johnson. I couldn't believe it because Jimmy Johnson was to the 49ers what Bill Walsh was to the Cowboys.
It's one word: insanity.
It's also, unless some miracle happens, do you think that Gerald Jones is gonna get that Gatorade bath? No.
There's no way he's going to be down on the field to get that suit dirtied up with Gatorade. Are you crazy?
He doesn't want to get the suit dirtied up.
No, he does. He wants the adulation of it. Maybe not the actual,
He's not putting in the work for it.
He wants the adulation of it. He wants that hype. He wants the hyperbole. He wants the pomp and circumstance.
He wants the flowers without doing the work.
Exactly. And that has been the culture of the Dallas Cowboys, and more so the Moronic Republic. And the reason why this irks me so doggone bad is because I'm the one taking the beating.
Yes. Unfairly. I'm
the one taking the beating
That's the crazy thing about it is we're actually the sensible fans, and we're the ones getting our asses kicked.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a part of the Nimrod New England Society.
Lord knows I'm getting mine with the 49ers and the Warriors.
Right. So when I get beat down, and I'm getting beat down from all sides, I'm getting beat down from the Moronic Republic and every other Cowboy fan's hater. Because when they look at me, they see you. When they look at me, they see the Moronic Republic. When they look at me, they see the same. We going to Super Bowl. We go make it Super Bowl. This is our year.
Yeah,
who told this lie?
And I will make it clear, I am not a part of the Knucklehead Society of Kansas City.
Because
this has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
And I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I know Victor's sick of it.
I'm sick and tired of it.
Victor's sick and tired. All Cowboy fans, true Cowboy fans. And Jerry wouldn't let Parcells pick his guy for his team to work. Absolutely. Jets did the same thing to Bill Parcells. And in a couple of ways, so did the Patriots.
I was about to say, yeah, we did the same thing. What are we talking about here?
Every other team besides the New York Giants handcuffed Bill Parcells in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem with these old school owners.
And why? Because yes, Dak, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. And the church said loudly.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Snowman.
Amen.
Thank you,
now,
Brian.
Get up.
Now that's a way to lead
I
into
love how you
halftime.
picked the most depressing photo of Dak, too.
I'm going to use one of Snowman's lines. Pardon me while I stand and applaud.
We've hit halftime, ladies and gentlemen.
Back after the half.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, Yeah, anything is possible.
The women's college game.
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference. They got their mojo now.
The WNBA.
AJ Wilson on Twitter 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
Or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony, or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
in this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered a winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Oh, jeez. Droid gave me the idea for that last graphic.
That is awesome.
So during halftime, I did a thing.
Oh, hell. What now?
Uh-oh.
What?
The hell'd you do?
We're going to have the Yes, It Is You list.
Yes, I think we are.
Whatever are y'all talking about?
Because yes, Marshan, it is you. Always been you. Will always be you. Forever and ever. Church says.
Amen.
I quit.
Not yet. You
yes,
don't.
Rask.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. This one's for Shane.
Okay.
What'd you do?
Because yes,
oh, yes. Oh,
it is
yeah.
you. It is
It's always been you. It will forever be you. Forever and ever. And the church rose as one and said,
Amen.
Oh, hallelujah. We gonna have a party on Sunday. Hallelujah.
Oh, the dog's about to burn somebody. All right, let him have it. Let him have it, Shane. Let him have it, Shane.
Because Robert Kraft.
Wait, just a minute. Just like I said, I did a thing during halftime.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. That fit. That fit. I couldn't do it. See what y'all started?
We're gonna have a list longer than the list of Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all fellas read the back chat?
Okay.
Okay, what you need?
You know what? You know what?
Plattner, it is you. It has always been you. It will always be you. Forever and ever. The church rises and says,
Amen.
Amen.
Oh no.
Now let's do some hockey picks, shall we?
All I know is that the Church of Brady is about to go off on Robert Kraft.
Now, Snowman.
Yes, sir.
Let's pick some NHL games.
Why? Do we have a full boat tonight?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games.
Yeah, I think some hockey picks are necessary, especially since I'm up to something very evil.
We also let dog cook somebody, so let's try and make these.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do all of that.
We got 14 minutes for that.
Yeah.
I'll play the intro.
Let's do it.
Remember, folks, these odds are presented by BetUS. BetUS, where the game begins. Use code Snowman for 125% deposit match on your first deposit. BetUS, where the game begins. First off, a 7:07 puck drop. The St. Louis Blues versus the Ottawa Senators. The Senators are favored by 1.5. Snowman, kick us off.
I don't know which way to lean in this game, but I'll go with the home team. I'll go with the Senators.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same way. I'll go with the Senators.
Who's Ottawa playing?
The Blues.
And the Senators. Senators favored by 1.5.
Screw St. Louis. Give me Ottawa.
I wonder why you said that.
Give them 2019 Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues.
Oh dear, he would.
Yes, I went there.
Yeah, I know.
Same time
Next.
puck drop, you got the Philadelphia Flyers versus the Boston Bruins. The Bruins are favored by 1.5. Oh yeah, I forgot the last game. Over under is set at 6.5.
Meanwhile, you said Philly's in town for the
The
beans.
Philadelphia Flyers versus the Boston Bruins. Bruins are favored by 1.5. The over under.
You can't make me do it. You can't make me do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have had our first NHL Total Anarchy game.
You can't make me do it.
Let the glass break.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
I know I'm gonna get my head kicked in. Oh, but why?
Nick.
I will actually go ahead and take it. I'm gonna take the home team. I'm gonna take the Brew Crew.
Droid, just make
I
your
already
pick.
know where Shainer's going. You don't even need to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to say a damn thing.
So where are you going, Droid?
I'll make it a somewhat sweep and go with the Bruins.
All right. Next game.
I gotta get more coffee. Next
game is the Anaheim Ducks versus the New York Islanders. The Islanders are favored by 1.5. The over-under is.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
Two in a row. What's wrong with this one?
Snowman?
Islanders.
Then pick the Ducks. Simple. Pick quack quack.
Yeah, I'm gonna say quack quack quack. I'm going with the Ducks.
Listen, I don't care about either of these teams. I'm just picking to make a pick. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Marshawn Lynch. Okay, beast mode.
I was about to say that's all. Kyle Busch used that line too, and that's the way I feel about this game. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say quack quack quack. Go the Ducks. That's
Islanders.
Brian, just please pick the team. I don't even care.
I did.
You picked on
Don't
Anarchy.
play the glass shattering.
Okay, I won't. Next one.
I'll pick quack quack because I picked Oregon. I might as well pick their little son.
Their Anaheim cousin.
I might as well pick the son-in-law, the Anaheim.
Right.
Meh.
Next up is the Seattle Kraken versus the Montreal Canadiens.
Crack.
The Seattle Kraken are favored by 1.5. Over/under is set at 60. Odds are even.
Not anymore than that. Seattle.
Release the Kraken.
Exactly.
So I got.
I said screw St. Louis a while ago. I'm going to say Montreal. Give me Seattle.
I'll make it a clean sweep. Seattle is going to run over the Canadiens. Next up, the Minnesota Wild versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Wild are favored by 1.5. The over/under is set at 6.5.
Penguins. And
Yeah.
it takes overtime.
Yep, I'm gonna go with the Penguins. With the
One of my
waterfowls.
favorite villains in all the Batman series was the Penguin, so give me Pittsburgh.
I'm going to ride solo. I'm going to pick the Wild in this game.
You're wild. Sorry, bad joke.
A classic playoff matchup. You've seen these in the playoffs before. The New York Rangers versus the Washington Capitals. New York Rangers are favored by 1.5.
Give me them Rangers.
Yeah.
Give me them Ranges.
I'll go with the Rangers. in honor of Mr. Wise El Jefe.
Wise El Jefe. I'm picking the Rangers and Shesteskin to do the deed. I'm taking the Rangers.
Shesteskin?
Yes, that's the name. I told you I'm not awake yet.
Screw St. Louis, Montreal, and screw New York. Give me Washington and the Grade 8 doing some damage.
I think the Grade 8 gets shut out.
I'll take the split decision. Washington.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the game I'm doing tonight. 7 o'clock. Is that 7 o'clock?
7:37 puck drop.
7:30. Okay. 7:30 puck drop. 7 o'clock pregame. Old Snowman's behind the mic for some hockey. And I'm already working on my intro.
I'm anticipating a glass break for this one. The Los Angeles Kings versus the San Jose Sharks.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
Let's just all take a mulligan on that game because both teams suck.
Yeah.
All of us take it. I'll fix this for you, Joey.
Actually, the Kings are 5-2-2. The Sharks are 1-7-2.
The Mulligan City.
Mandatory.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
No, I'll actually go with the Kings.
Shane?
Okay, fine. I'll do the same. I'll go with the Kings.
Sweep it.
I'll sweep it. The Kings are going to run through San Jose, just like how Chicago did to San Jose last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Those are our
by Bet US, where the game begins. Use code Snowman to get a 125% match on your first deposit. Bet US when the game begins.
We actually did hockey.
Okay.
You believe that?
And you
we still got 6 minutes.
Shut it.
Hey, we got 6 minutes to kill.
Yeah. So to kill those 6 minutes, where is it?
Yes, Robert Kraft, it is you. It has always been you. It will forever be you and your asinine moves. Forever and ever, and the church rose and said as one.
Amen. I added a little flash to it. And now I will do something for Shane. Hey, Robert Kraft, have a seat. Floor's yours.
Dog, sick 'em.
The House of New England has opened up. And our savior is here. No, it's not. It's not Robert Kraft.
No, it's not. Oh, dear God.
Because Robert Kraft has been proven to be the devil in this one. Because all of the idiotic moves the last few years have proven to be the downfall of the Patriots. First off, you signed Jacoby Brissett to a long-term deal. Why in the blue hell did you do that when the answer to all of our problems was Nathan freaking Rock?
Uh-huh.
And then you go and do a stupid thing like trading our best pass rushing linebacker in Josh Uche for a 6th round draft pick.
Not even a player. Just a 6th round draft.
Droid, get off of my screen. We don't need your smile. Right now, this is a house of mourning. Because everybody down at O'Flaherty's is wondering what the hell is going on up there.
Nobody's going to mourn the Patriots.
All of the diehard New England fans who dealt with Drew freaking Bledsoe and Bill Parcells floundering their way in through things until Bill Belichick saved the day with Tom freaking Brady. Right now, we are mourning because this is basically our season in a nutshell. We lost Drake May to a concussion for 2 weeks, at least, because of a blown call by the refs. By the way, this proves the refs are no longer on New England's side. Nor have they ever been in the first place, but That's always been debatable. But Robert Kraft, you numbnut. You need to do yourself a favor and make a call to Joral. What you need to do is set up a road trip. Go to Chicago and pick up that witch that's running the Chicago Bears. And go down to Florida and retire, you monkey. Because right now, all you're good for, you ain't even good for the looks on TV because everyone's looking at you like, why are you still here? You all know your son is trying to take over the team, and he's got more brains than you do.
Uh-huh.
So, sir, before I run out of propane, because we've already used the majority of it on Dallas fans, and Hank won't be here until tomorrow to refill the tank.
Oh, I'll call in some reinforcements.
Oh, don't worry. He'll be here tomorrow to make sure we got a bigger tank, too. I made sure of it.
I'll make sure of it, too.
But for God's sake, Mr. Kraft, for the love of the collar around my neck, sir, do us a favor and get the out of Foxborough, because you're no longer running New England. We don't want you here. Now, do me a favor before we end up losing all the gas in the tank, because I got to grill up some burgers. Get up and get gone. I'm done with you.
Absolutely beautiful. Now that is bloody delicious.
Delicious. We got a break. And then Mike Drop Moran drops by because there's a new league in town. And guess who they're trying to lure? I think Allison will have a hot seat of her own. Dear God in heaven.
Oh.
Back in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Jarrell.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
Yeah, we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Ah, my beauty. Dr. K bringing us back from break.
I'm still dying over here.
You!
Right?
You! I laughed my head off for a full 4 minutes when we were in break.
The Irish pasta.
You know.
The Irish pasta.
The Irish
pasta. Okay, that's about to become a freaking segment.
Yes, it is.
Irish accent for Scottish is funny.
You know what? It's a combination.
It is.
Okay. The wheels are turning. The wheels are turning in my head.
I'm sorry.
And I'll leave it at that. The wheels are turning in my head. Now, before we bring on Mic Drop Moran, she gave me a mic drop before anything even happened.
Oh,
let me read to you what she sent me. The first part there is, because she sends me the subjects that she wants to talk about during the show. Okay. And we try to get to all of them. And God love you, Allison. She sends me a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to read this first line.
Okay.
She says, "Hi, Brian. Subjects for the show include," here's the mic drop, "the WNBA's changing coaches like women change clothes."
I mean, not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. She's not wrong, because two coaches have bitten the dust. But we've already had our mic drop. I have a feeling there's more. Here's Allison. Good morning, my dear. How are you today?
Good morning, Brian. I am great. How about you?
Mic Drop Moran, how are you?
See, Mic Drop Moran at your service.
That's a drop. That's a drop. Mic Drop Moran.
The last 15 minutes have been just shorts in its own right.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to start in reverse, because there's a new 3-on-3 basketball league.
Mm-hmm.
Unrivaled, I think it's the name.
That is the name.
Of current WNBA players. It's scheduled to begin in January.
Right.
However, there's a name that they want in their league so badly.
Mm-hmm.
I think y'all know who that name is. It's the same young lady that they beat to hell for 40 games. And she took Indiana to the playoffs.
Yep.
Now, we'll get to the firing of Christy Sides in just a moment. But Unrivaled will not survive one winter, Allison, if they don't lure Caitlin Clark. And boy, are they trying.
You're right. I will say, this is a 3x3 league, 3x3. Not sure what they're calling it this week, but the thing about it is that it's a league that was founded by players, was founded by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. and it's big money. They got big investors in the league. They can actually afford to pay our friends some big money. And they are talking about, and I quote this, a Messi-like deal. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's Lionel Messi, who was paid oogles of billions of dollars. No, not really oogles of billions, but he was paid a hell of a lot of money to come to the MLS. And the thing is that this league is going to keep U.S. players in the U.S. They've always had to go to Europe. They've always had to go overseas to get money to play the game that they love, and B, make sure that they can afford their lifestyles.
Right.
The problem is that they have had and when I say they, I mean the players in the league have never had a day off in all the years they've played basketball. Now, this league at least keeps them in the United States. It's also exciting because 3x3 basketball has been it's one of the chief growing sports in the nation. And I mean, starting off on the streets and 3x3 basketball started, in schoolyards and basketball courts and now it's getting the final recognition that they need. There's going to be 6 teams, and I don't know who comes up with these names. I don't know. Okay.
Oh no.
6 teams.
Okay.
They're called the Laces, the Mist, the Phantom, the Lunar Owls, the Rose, and the Vinyl.
What?
The Vinyl. The Lunar Owls.
The Lunar Owl.
Okay.
What bloody drunk
I mean,
person came
look
up
at
with this
all.
one?
I must ask. I must ask, and I'm gonna get an assist here. Chris, please pose the question.
What in the all types of blue hell
is a lunar owl?
That sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons.
The Lunar Owls.
The lunar owls. Okay. My wife couldn't even come up with a name like that, and my wife has come up with some gems. Okay, in the 6 years that Jody and I have been together, she's come up with some gems for dad jokes to keep me in good spirits while I was in the hospital. And y'all will see Jody post some of those jokes for me. If Jody couldn't come up with that one, you can't make this up.
A lunar owl is something you'd see in like Magic the Gathering here. Come on now.
I hate you, Sam.
Hey man, I'm telling you, it's just simply the way that these leagues are founded. Hopefully, I'm going to say that there's a method behind the madness. I do not know the method behind the madness. I do know that we must respect these names for now, just as we respected all the names that have come before in every city. I don't understand it, but let's say this. The Houston Comets, back when in the WNBA, had a reason.
Because of the Rockets. Because of the WNBA was formed in 1997. Every name that was there was based off of their big brother team.
And it also had a tie to Houston as well because of NASA. And so I get all that. I get all that. I mean, hell, the home of the Astrodome. You know what I mean? And so
you
you
got the New York Liberty, who are the reigning champions right now. Lady Liberty in New York. Okay. Now, I still won't understand why they didn't play at MSG, but who cares? They got their first title. The Timberwolves.
They got the Barclays Center.
Yep. The Timberwolves.
Better than Brooklyn College. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Better than Brooklyn College.
Better than Brooklyn College.
Maybe next year they'll get MSG. Donald Trump got it. Why not them? So
I would love to see the Liberty back at MSG because they were selling the place out.
Yeah.
They were selling the place out. Well, those of you don't know the history. I followed the WNBA since its inception in 1997 when they first launched. They were averaging, and I believe this figure to be correct, 19,591 at every game at MSG. Doesn't matter how the team performed. It's the fact that the New Yorkers, especially the women, loved the New York Liberty, and they love them now. And they went nuts when they came all the way back and won that series. Okay, but Chris, do it again.
What in the all types of blue hell
is a lunar owl? Someone, look, Allie just gave us another mic drop moment, and I'll repeat what she just said. There's a method to the madness. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't want to know what the hell it is. I know there's a method to it.
There is.
I don't want to know.
We will be now. The rumor about Caitlin Clark is that they are trying to get her with $1 million salary.
Yep.
Yes, and so we'll see. I can't. I knew that she needed a rest after the season. Yes. However, I mean, she's had 2 months to rest. Come on, she's young. She's 22. She's got to get back out there. So God knows which team is going to be able to sign her. But we'll see.
I'm willing to bet this offer didn't come from the league. This offer came from their network, which is TNT.
Yeah,
TNT signed to carry the games, which means old Snowman may be lighting up the headset here in studio. Yeah. But I will venture a guess, even with everything, beg your pardon, even with everything that Caitlin Clark has been through physically, emotionally, mentally, to say that she thrived in her rookie season in the NBA would be an understatement. I mean, you may as well say unanimous rookie of the year. All right. She brought her team to the playoffs. Unfortunately, they had to face the best defensive team in the Connecticut Sun in the first round, and the Sun did what they were supposed to do against a young team. That offer did not come from the league. I guarantee you it did not come from the league. TNT is trying to get into Caitlin Clark's ear, and they're trying to get eyes on their league via TNT because in a year's time, they're losing NBA coverage. Yes. So this is a backdoor move in my eyes.
And ESPN has got the WNBA, so that's off limits at the moment. Although God knows, I'm excited about this whole turn of events, and I think it just really bodes well for women's basketball altogether, and it'll be something to watch while the snow flies, and
it'll keep us busy.
Yeah,
it'll keep us busy until next WNBA season.
You and I will keep talking. That's for sure. I should mention another. Just another little name change that is happening regarding the Chicago Red Stars, who are playing their final regular season game. Let them be known. I think this was a completely unnecessary change. I'm not the management, but the Chicago Red Stars, 15-year veterans of the Chicago professional women's soccer team, is now going to be known as the Chicago Stars. And I'm going, why?
What?
The Chicago Stars. And the Chicago Stars, the reason I think for this change is number one, you have Laura Ricketts as owner. She's also she and the Ricketts family, of course, also own the Cubs. That's why they had their big moment at Wrigley Field this year, turning turning this team in, and the all of the nice baseball field into a soccer field. And hey, they made a record. 35,000 people in the stands for women's soccer. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all.
Part of the reason for that name change is because of all the controversy surrounding their former coach Rory Dames, who was fired, as well as the then owner Arnim Whistler, who had covered up a lot of emotional abuse that the team was going through at the hands of Rory Dames. And he was, I interviewed him 1,000 times. He was tough on the players. And I understood why. However, this name change did two things wrong. And I talked with my good friend Peter Wilt, who actually founded the Red Stars. He and I have been friends for 15 years. There's an understanding in this world that they wanted to distance themselves from the Red Stars, who had all this controversy. However, they also wanted an identity of their own. This is a new ownership group. Yeah. It signaled a new era. What Peter said was that they executed it very, very poorly, because if you'll remember back 15 years ago, Brian, they had a contest to name the Red Stars when it first came to town.
Yes.
And this, I got to tell you, the logo is bland. You'll be able to see the merchandise at SeatGeek Stadium on November 3rd when they take on the Kansas City Current, the current leader of the NWSL. They will have this. It's a single star, which Laura Ricketts says is all about the players in the league. They're the stars. Chicago needs to be the star. Peter says, and rightly so, that they could have avoided all of this backlash if from the fans. It's like, what the hell did we need a name change for? And
exactly.
What
it's like it came out of the blue.
For?
It's like it just came out of the blue.
It has. I really feel it's come out of the blue, because every time Allison's been on, it's Red Stars. That's how I will always know. That's how I will always know them as Seattle Supersonics. Anyone, and y'all know how I feel about the NBA and what they did to the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah, Supersonics.
Exactly. It's sad.
To the main point.
Yeah.
Christy Sides got the boot from the Indiana Fever.
Are we switching to charcoal, or do we have enough propane to tank this?
We got we got plenty.
Listen, we brought over what's left over from the church, and
we got plenty.
So go ahead and roast.
I had a friend pose a question to me, and I want to pose it to Allie, and I want to pose it to the panel. My friend asked me who is going to be the next coach of the Indiana Fever, and one name popped up in my head. Lisa Bluter.
Really? Well, I heard a different name.
Okay, and the name is?
I'm having a little trouble hearing you, so you might say that it would be Stephanie White.
Okay.
Who just Connecticut parted ways with her. Stephanie White has been in has been with the Indiana Fever. She's very good friends with Lynn Dunn, who just came in as the senior advisor. She was the general manager, no longer. That's Amber Cox. You remember?
Mhm. Yes.
And we talked about that. And the rumor mill is highly favorable to this matchup, because one of the reasons for 7 changing coaches, that's more than half the league in the WNBA. This is about money, championships, return on investment. Okay? With the new money, with the new media deal, this is an issue for all of the league.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that if you post a losing record, which Stephanie White did not, 62-32 over 2 seasons. 2023 Coach of the Year with Connecticut, 7-7 on the postseason. The only thing that she hasn't been able to do as a head coach is bring a championship to the teams that she's played. However, they are very high on Stephanie and Lynn Dunn in particular, Amber Cox. They're, and you'll remember that coaching change from the season and management change, I should say. And the thing is that that makes the most sense. I would say it makes a lot more sense than your choice, Brian. I do not mean to disrespect.
No, that's fine. It was just the first name that popped in my head. I didn't think of Stephanie White. So you're right. That's a big connection. Should they make that hire? What do you think if they hire Stephanie White, if she does turn out to be the woman to coach the Indiana Fever, what do you think is the first thing that she'll do or try to establish?
Oh, I think she's going to start building the team with the players. I mean, I think that Caitlin Clark is going to be an even bigger superstar with her. I think that you are going to see a much more consistent style of play. I think it's going to be I think that she's going to bring those same qualities that she brought to the Connecticut Sun, who had a lot of trouble in the years between Mike Tebow being there and now. And so I think that my prayer is that she will re-sign Kelsey Mitchell. I cannot say that that's true, but I can say that I do believe that for consistency's sake, for the abilities that she showed, I do believe that would be the first thing that they should do is re-sign Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell is the key to this offseason for Indiana. You keep that backcourt together, and you have a championship contender. You just don't have a playoff contender, because the second half of the year, you saw everything come together for Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark. And something else we talked about after the Olympic, it took the Olympic break, and it took the Olympic break, and it took them resting to get everyone together. Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, Caitlin Clark. And now the second half of the year, they started seeing where Caitlin Clark was throwing the passes, and they have been able to get into the lane and get to the basket. Second half of the year, the Indiana Fever averaged 92 points a game. And 3 of the last 5 of the season, 3 of which I called, they had 100 points.
Yeah.
So the potential is there. You bring Stephanie White into the picture, and you get you still get the scoring. You're still going to get the scoring, but you're also going to get the defensive philosophy as well. And that's something, Allie, you've touched on so many times over in our conversations with the WNBA.
Exactly. Interestingly enough, with Christy Sides gone, something that had long been rumored, and depending on how the Indiana Fever did last year, most people were calling for her head by the middle of the season.
Yep.
I'm going to just venture a guess that she might end up at the Chicago Sky.
There's a chance.
I do find it weird.
There's a chance.
I do find it weird that after a relatively successful season, they're calling for her head, though. I mean,
well, they were calling for her head at the top of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. They were calling for her head when they started 1-8.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they started 1-8 was fatigue. Caitlin Clark was just plain tired.
Yeah.
And couldn't get into sync with the offense. Mm-hmm. She just couldn't get into sync with the offense.
And also, I think the other thing you have to remember is that she was still a rookie, and she was still finding her way and trying to figure out her her offense. I mean, and still learning how to defend in this league, because it's
her
a much
defense got so much better second half after the Olympic break. Her defense got so much better. Her timing got better. There's still a lot for Caitlin Clark to learn. We've said it on this show so very often. Right. There's so much more for Caitlin Clark to learn, especially defensively. But you saw Caitlin Clark get her hands in the passing lanes a lot the second half of the year. And that was one point, Allie, and I love you for this, that you applauded about CC, that she started getting her hands in the passing lanes a lot the second half of the year.
That's absolutely right. And she's coming into her own, and she needs the kind of coach that Stephanie White can be, and to be able to further develop that game of hers, and also, and most importantly, develop that confidence. If you talk to Caitlin Clark, she is one of the most humble people. The bigger they are, the nicer they are. And she just is.
Candace Parker wandered over to our table, as a bright-eyed senior at Naperville Central, and sat with me and said, "How are you doing?" Okay. Shanice Jenkins, a very, very dear friend who I saw play at Whitney Young. And no one believed me except her family when I said one day she's going to be the player of the year in the Big East. 2016, what happened? She was the player of the year in the Big East. Caitlin Clark is going to be that player that carries this league.
You might even
carry us on out of here.
You might
Allison Moran, Mic Drop Moran, at our service, as she always is, every Tuesday morning. We love you, my dear. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everything, for your support of the show, and just plain thank you. We love you.
We love you too, and have a great week.
I'm gonna say this: if Caitlin Clark keeps practicing about getting her hands in the passing lanes, we may see her do something that, again, not even LeBron has done. Lead the league in scoring and
lead the league in steals. I'm so waiting for that to happen. I think it'll happen next year. We got a boogie. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. Learn from us. We're doing it, and y'all should do it too. So long, everybody.